Alright, so the NBA season is arising, and I'm going to do some early predictions, and we'll see how it goes. So, I got to go through the awards first for the NBA, and quite honestly, I'm not very familiar with the NBA. I'm not a huge fan of it. I keep track. I know the Warriors were doing amazing. Curry was my favorite player at one point because he shot a bunch of threes, and I like shooting threes. That was really the only reason, because that's what I liked doing as a kid. Really reason why a lot of kids look up to him, because how many threes he makes. But let's move on to these awards. Start with Rookie of the Year, which I'm pretty sure mostly everybody's going to have the same person with Zion. But you could also have his teammate go into it. Can't remember his name. And also Ja Morant can get put into it. I'm going to go with Zion. He's quite clearly the go-to cut choice. Even with his injuries right now, he's probably more than likely going to go off, especially with a decent Pelicans team around him with experience. As long as he can take them and lead them, he should be Rookie of the Year. Then for Sixth Man of the Year, this is kind of tough. I don't really know a lot of six men, but I do know the Clippers are a pretty good team, and pretty sure Lou Williams is sixth man there, so I had to go with a Sixth Man of the Year prediction early. It'd be Lou Williams right now. Then we move on to Most Improved Player. I do have a solid candidate for this one. I think it's going to be Terry Rozier. He finally gets his own team. There's no one else really around him in Charlotte except for him and probably the rookie they drafted that I don't know. But with that, he should be the star player on the team, so he should be the one that's actually going to be leading the team. And as you saw with the Boston Celtics in the playoffs in 2018, he did a pretty good job at rebounding them and putting them forward towards the conference championship, where then once they got to the conference championship, he got benched because Kyrie Irving was back, and they ended up losing that conference championship. So maybe if you just give him the ball in his hands as a starter, he'll do better. And I hope he does, especially with the Charlotte Hornets. And we have Defensive Player of the Year. This one's pretty easy. It's probably going to be Joel Embiid. He's usually one of the better defensive players always. And there's not much discussion about it. Then we move on. Coach of the Year. I really don't know who's going to win Coach of the Year. I think Brad Stevens could out of the Boston Celtics. Especially he brings up a good run with them. With Kemba, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. Those main three. But also Gordon Hayward's on that team. So really, he just needs to stick everything together. If they can get something going, that could be one really good team. And he'd be a prime candidate for Coach of the Year. But we also got the Clippers with their coach, Doc Rivers. And I think he'll end up winning it. I don't know. I'm really down between those two. Between Brad Stevens and Doc Rivers. Of course, both of them are going to have a good year. But it's probably going to take first place in the seed for both of them to end up doing it too. Or you could go back with the Nuggets coach once again. So that moves us on to MVP. Where there's Giannis, there's James Harden, but James Harden does have Russell Westbrook now, who more than likely is going to neglect his play. So I'm just taking Russell Westbrook and James Harden out of the conversation right away. I don't think either one of those are going to win it. Gordon Hayward out of Boston someone out of Boston could somehow win it. Kemba, I think, would be the prime candidate, or Gordon Hayward, but I don't think either of those really are going to. But I think it's really going to be a two-way race between two players, both of them being in LA. One of those is going to be on the Clippers with Kawhi. I think he'll actually be in a prime spot to be able to win it. Also, I have to bring up Trae Young, but because he's been having a phenomenal year so far, and he may end up keeping on pace, but I don't think he's going to keep on pace. I think he's just on a hot streak. It'd be great if he keeps playing like this, though. He'll be definitely a prime candidate. But the other prime candidate in LA that I'm thinking of is on the Lakers. And it's not LeBron. It's Anthony Davis. I'm thinking Anthony Davis because he's finally got a good team, unlike the Pelicans. Even though he had to carry the Pelicans, he probably should have won MVP there, but he didn't have a winning record, and we don't give MVPs to losing records. So, with a winning record, Anthony Davis has a real good chance, especially with the situation he's in LA, with the Lakers, with LeBron running point. LeBron's a great player. His scoring's gone down a bit. He's not as great as a scorer as he once was. Everybody knows that. He's not as great as a driver as he once was. Everyone knows that. But he's still LeBron, and LeBron finds ways to give people the ball. Anthony Davis is one of those players. He will find a way to get the ball at all costs. Anthony Davis will go off this year, and Anthony Davis will win the MVP. Quite a change from like a positional player like James Harden winning it, but I think Anthony Davis will win MVP, with Giannis probably coming in second, Kawhi in third, Trae Young in fourth. That's my top four for MVP. And then, who's going to win the NBA championship this year? Well, it's going to be close. It's definitely probably going to be a Western Conference League team. Probably one from LA. Maybe Golden State finds a way to get healthy. It's less than likely going to happen. Golden State's going to need Clay back if they're ever going to make a run. And they're going to need a new Draymond, because Draymond now sucks. But it's going to be one of those LA teams between the Lakers and the Clippers. They'll probably meet up in the finals there. And the Eastern Conference Finals, Bucks, Sixers, or Celtics. Those are probably the top three. There's no one really else there. And now the Bucks, Sixers, and Celtics, I got most faith in either the Bucks or the Sixers. And those two is kind of a toss-up. I think the Celtics have the most potential, but I don't have any trust in them. So it's either going to be Bucks or Sixers in it for the Eastern Conference. I think the Sixers will pull that off. And it's either going to be Clippers or Lakers for the Western Conference. That's going to be one good series, too, between the Clippers and the Lakers. But I do think the Clippers will barely edge them out. I think it honestly is going to matter. Well, they're both in LA, so home court doesn't matter that much. But it might matter who has Game 7 a tiny bit, just because the hype for it. And, the court will be Clippers colors instead of Lakers colors, so it'll be a little bit more home feeling, even though it's both their stadium. But that's what my thoughts are about that. Then, it's Clippers versus Sixers in the NBA championship. I'm choosing Clippers. I think the Clippers will end up winning the NBA championship this year. With the Lakers, probably win it if they beat the Clippers. But I got Clippers winning it all this year. So, I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Who you guys think is going to win MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, and who do you guys think is going to win the NBA Finals? Also, leave suggestions for a new sports video down in the comments below. And who knows, I may end up doing one of your videos in one of the next episodes. And of course, thank you guys for watching this video. It means a lot. Make sure to click those links down in the description down below. So there's Instagram, Twitter, Discord, and Patreon. And of course, just make sure to keep that sports week flowing throughout the day.